Welcome to CathyDSlaught's website at CathyDSlaght.com. You're here because you want to listen to Cathy D. Slatt's Quantum Energy Group via Zoom, which will go over the quantum energy software. To access the call, you're going to click here. Now remember to show up on Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 sharp, as that's when the call begins. One moment, please. We're going to enter the Zoom call. It will be loud, so you may want to lower the volume on your speakers.
I want to show you, we had such an intense session day before yesterday, and I actually wanted to write a post about it and do a screencast. There was too much in it. It was amazing all that we wanted. So, but we have cleared. So we're just going to start fresh. Let's just clear that. And I want to show you that I went in and tested, and I'm going to add this to the top thing now I do. And we do want the general options scan. So I want to show you, and I'll send this out some time ago. Well, I like my scans, as you know. And so I like to scan it instead of just intuit. We should be able to intuit. So follow that if that's what you do. But I don't know why I like to do it this way. I'm going to show you some things you can do. And again, test first. Not everybody wants it. Not everybody wants anything. So we see as a group, we want body parts, mind attitudes, female acquired imposed belief structure, defense mechanisms, and emotion. So I'm just going to get down here. That's not it. That's my new fractal fairy tale I'm starting to work on. There we go. We also want the January startup scan, but we'll do that in a minute. Right now, here's, let's just so I don't forget, this is something, if you're so inclined, that you can do. So we see body parts. Go ahead and hit that down arrow. Load it up. Now I can get up here. I think we're in. And so now you've got your list, and if you're up to it, just do another scan and see what jumps out. Get your information and just go ahead and copy that all in. So that's just another step. Now we go to mind attitudes. You may not choose to do that with all of them, and if you're, let's just see. What happens, I think you all know this, as you continue this work, you're going to go into your right brain with it. And so let's see. We do want the scan. Let's go ahead and see what that has to say. Now, this is interesting. Accusing the innocent, happy-based syndrome, chronic lateness. Now, remember, you know, as this group anyway knows, this is all from your blueprint. This is the etheric field, which actually has more of an impact than the physical body, but it's not physical. So if you want to go forward, sometimes you get some things that really strike you. You can always copy this list and go a little forward. Let's just, for example, let's just look at this wants to die syndrome, which we can certainly examine. That's kind of stressful today, isn't it? So let's amp that down. We've got that information, and then you think about it. This certainly is beneath the realm of consciousness. Are we doing that when we know what to do for ourselves and we don't, or et cetera, or we have health problems and we don't change our nutrition, et cetera? Or is there something up to this point we haven't been aware of? And then we can take it another step. This is what I've been doing anyway. First of all, do we want it in the B2? That B2 is doing some powerful work. All right, we sure do. So I'm going to do that later, because I've got too many names and things going, I realize, to pull it up now. But we're going to put that in there and work on that stress. Then we've got female acquired. Get down here. And again, we'll just go ahead and put that in. Defense mechanisms. And that's always an interesting one. Let's see if we want to scan for that one. Don't need that. And then finally, this is a huge scan, this emotion. And, I'm just hitting the down arrow, and it's loading it up. And this is all you have to do. We can get along with that. Now, let me show you, clear all this. These are some things that we want to do throughout the day. From the January 6th, heart, Qi, and Yin deficiency. Remedy for the faulty assimilation of food. We want a blessing, armor of God. Contract removal of media system. This raw herb protocol for toothaches, and then these Slater remedies. So for now, though, let's just look at what we've got just with our find options. I do want to, let me get in here. Let's see if we want any of these things for a primary situation. Nope. And do we want to add anything? And you can always add your own hometown, your own state, etc. to this. It won't come up if it's not appropriate to, when you do your scan. But for the group, our internet routers and our jewelry. Jewelry is a powerful. Anytime you can charge your jewelry, that's amazing.
Do you think we need to clear it before we charge it?
You can test. I don't know. That's a good thought. The clearing is certainly appropriate a lot of times. All right, let's just see. Got some information in here. Do we want to preserve it in any way? Nope. Now this may preserve it on its own or not, but let's just see what we got. And again, this is pretty standard for me when I see these meridians come up, as there's a lot of wisdom held in those meridians. Got it balanced out without that. This conceptional vessel is an interesting point too, because that's what they call for pregnancy. But the word pregnant means full of promise. So when that comes up, there may be some real gifts that are trying to come forth. Let's just look. We'll leave it at that point. Enzyme balance, another huge area that we need to get into. There's liver meridian. Again, spleen meridian. No. Again, the P4 is working on this, so you don't need to do anything extra if you don't choose to. Let's just do life force of stomach. The whole key probably to everything is life force. You want to amp it up. That could use a little amping. Okay, so not long. Now we've got 7 layers So what I've been doing, do the top, and then I like to go down and see just our final. So we've got stress related to unwellness. You can do without that. Let's see if we want to. Okay, so we're going to go in. This one, kind of get into the habit of doing this one myself for everybody if it's necessary. Don't need it there. And you might consider, if this comes up a lot for you, to maybe look at some of the media you're watching. Okay, we're good. P4 is all we need. Okay, now here we go with thyroid. That has really been coming up a lot across the board. We're looking good there. Good. Life force of pericardium. It's another one that's been coming up quite a bit, and that can relate to relationships. I'm reading a sci-fi book right now that, you know that book we talked about, Energy Strands? She mentions a book, and for the heck of it, one night I had just about all this kind of thing that I could do, so I pulled up this sci-fi book, and it's an interesting concept because this young woman who is human rescues one of what must have been the Neanderthals back then. They called them the Uglies. And it turned out that once she rescued saved him, that then she and he they called it a rope, and they had this connection. So what is happening now is they are trying to join forces with the humans and the Uglies. The Uglies had many gifts and were being wiped off the earth because there is a dark force that's trying to kill all of them. And the only way they can save it is to unify. So I don't know how much more I'll get to read it, but this relationship thing is significant. If we would combine our power, I should say. Okay, so we've got to regenerate. This is not going to be the same. We're not talking disease here, as we know. But we're going to build it up a little bit. Look at that violence. We can do without that. At least my opinion. Just douse that in. While we're doing that, let's see. Here we are with unwellness, which some of these things, okay, so we're going to take 3 issue solvers and the emotions panel, which makes sense for some of those. Let's look at it real quickly. Let's just start with unwellness. See what we got. Okay. So are we getting an environmental psychic attack through perhaps some of the radiation out there? I don't know. It's something to investigate. Okay, and again, also look here. Is some of that radioactive energy out there inciting a little bit of behavior that isn't the norm? I don't know. We'll go farther with that. Time is like money. You can either spend, waste, or invest. This is a very interesting, and I'm working on a post. Hope to get it up. In the title, I'm taking it from that Strand's book, There Are No Victims, Only Volunteers. So let's just look at that. And again, maybe there's no negatives because we're here to learn, but I'll put it in there for now. That's not too bad. It doesn't look too bad. We could, since it came up, security. We got a lot coming up today, since we do want this emotions panel. This gallbladder, I've got my encyclopedia out here to go in and look again at that gallbladder, because that's coming up not just for the group, but for so many. So there's got to be something deeper. And again, we're checking the energetics of it, not the physical. So for now, I'm just going to do that. And then I want to show you a couple other things that we have. That remarkable healings scan list grows, as I go through this book. Let's see if we want that scan today. Not quite. And then also I'm working on this wake up in 5D concept, and that list is getting long. And so far, not the group yet. I haven't tested the group, but literally every individual I've tested for that scan wants it. So let's see if we want it. No, we don't want it. So we want to focus. It looks to me like we want to focus on exactly what we're doing, and that's good. That's why I like to check for priority. And I may have to revisit. I always just put 24 hours. Maybe I need to revisit that. Not quite. Okay, so we're clearing resistance. Let's real quickly look at the aura, because that was one of the Pro Tools we requested. And typically when that comes up, we're going to clear our pets and also our residences. Not long here. And then also, okay, this was the one, recharge the stomach for just 6 minutes. Let's see. Okay, now we're going to take a little longer. I've been going back and forth. If it goes longer, then I click it again. We will then add, let me get in here. We'll add these things during the day as this begins to clear. Let me just look at something here. By the way, in this little sci-fi book, one of the reasons the uglies weren't doing so well, their numbers now on the planet were about down to 500 because they were being killed off, even though they had remarkable, in the story, healing gifts and this ability to chord, consciously share thoughts, but they couldn't speak. They had the way they were built, they could not do words, and we kind of forget the power of these words. It looked like it's thought-provoking. It's just sci-fi, but thought-provoking. You know, we need to look at some point into words and the power, more so than we've done. Okay, so that's it for now. Any thoughts?
Yes. When we're doing a QiGong, using the QiGong tool, and you set it for 24 hours, does that continue for 24 hours even though the P4 has stopped? Or can you close the P4?
Yeah, if you close the P4, it's done. And last night in the training, I thought, well, I better, of course, I don't know. I don't know how to go about it other than, for example, let's just do it right now. 24-hour QiGong today. I may have to start playing with this. Okay, well, this works. All right, so I want to just test it like that. But yes, it will keep going. And so, in other words, at some point today, we've got, we're going to go for 15 hours. So it'll be probably tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll go in and start adding these other things. And so, meanwhile, though, even when this stops, the QiGong and Shen will keep going till you completely turn the whole program off.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
Those two little things down on the bottom there, on the left side of the screen, if they're flashing, then that's what those are.
Yes, thank you, thank you. There is so much in this software, I'll tell you. So much, but that's right. Thank you. Well, that's it now. Remember, Monday, I'm going to take a day and totally devote it to the biogeometry and see if we can transmute some of this energy. So there will be no Zoom on Monday.
Okay.
And
You have a good day.
I hope I learned something.
Sure you will.
But anyway, I think it would be interesting. I've already added the little bit I've learned just for fun real quick. Let's just see if we want the shift pin added to today's session. Helps if you can type, but SRC will know what I'm talking about. Yep, we want it. That is so interesting to me, so I just kind of whirl it around. And then vocal crystal. And Marcel Vogel, he taught pure love. I really, not, again, we haven't wanted that, but I will whirl the shift pin around a little bit. And that's it for today, and I'll see you guys a week from today.
All right. Thank you, Cathy.
That's great. Thanks for today, Cathy. Blessings to all.
Yes.
This concludes the Quantum Energy Group via Zoom call with Cathy. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.